This is NECO July 2023 General Mathematics Paper 2, and we are answering question number 11. And the question says, using a ruler and a pair of compasses, only you have to construct a triangle ABC such that the side AB is 5 centimeters, the side AC is 7 centimeters, and the angle BAC is 120 degrees. Question number B, Roman 1 says we have to construct the locus called L1, and that is a locus of points equidistant from A and C. Then Roman 2, you ask also to construct another locus called L2, and that locus L2 is locus of points which is 4.5 centimeter from the point C. And the question number C asked to locate the points of intersections, and those points of intersections are now called N1 and N2, and they are points of intersections of L1 and L2. And the last question number D, you are now asked to measure the distance from N1 to N2 and the distance from B to C. To answer this question, you need your instruments, that is your ruler and your compasses, your pencil. So let's attempt to answer this very question together. So what you now do first is to draw this line AB. Line AB is the side of the triangle that we wanted to construct in this question number A. So let me start with the drawing of the line AB. You use your ruler to measure the line AB exactly 5 centimeters. When you now draw it, then you now mark the ends. This end you now call it B, and this end you now call it A. This is the line AB, exactly 5 centimeters. You have to measure it exactly. So next you now construct this angle 120. Angle 120, looking at it, it is angle BAC. You can see the point that is at the middle. It is the position of the angle. So this angle 120 is now at the point A. So to construct this angle 120, simply construct angle 60 at the opposite end. So I'm now constructing angle 60 at the right part of this point A, because my triangle is by this side, is left here. So to do that, let me just draw a line to extend this a bit. Let me just use dotted line. So next you now take your compass, you open it, place it at this point A. You open it small and draw a semicircle with the pointed part of the compass at this point A. That is the center of the semicircle. You draw it like this, look at it. With the same opening, that is the same radius, you now place the compass here, look at it, this position. Put the pointed part of the compass again, draw another arc with the same radius to cut this semicircle, just like this. So when that is now done, you now take your long ruler from this very point to the point of this intersection. You now draw a line. This angle is now going to be 60. The remaining is now going to be 120. So let me just draw this line. Use your long ruler from this point A to draw a line to pass through this point of intersection. Look at it. So you now draw that line like this. So it is somewhere here that you now find the position of the point C. But the question says that the length of the side AC is 7 centimeters. AC, that is from A to position of C, is exactly 7 cm. So what you now do, you either use your ruler to measure from A to C, or you now take the distance 7 centimeters on your ruler with your compass and put the pointed part of the compass here at A and make an arc. That will give you exactly the position of the point C. So if I now take the length of this AC 7 with my compass on the ruler and put the pointed part of the compass at A, I will now make an arc like this. This will give me the position of the point C. Let me just call it C. Then what remains is to complete the side from C to B to make it a complete triangle. Let me do that. So you just draw it with your long ruler from B to C, you join. That gives you the complete triangle, and that answered the question number A. So next we move to question number B. We have two loci to construct. The first one is L1. L1 is locus of point equidistance from the two fixed points A and C. A is a point, C is a point. Remember, Locus equidistance from two fixed points is nothing but the perpendicular bisector of the line connecting the 2 points. So I'm now drawing a perpendicular bisector of line AC. To do that, you now open your compass, put it at one of the end points. Let me just start with A. I'll open my compass, put it at A. You open the compass at least more than half of the length of the line AC. So when you open it, you now draw an arc like this. One, E, draw an arc like this. With the same radius, don't touch that your compass. Put it at the other end, that is at the point C. Draw another arc to crosses the very first one, just like this. Look at it. So where these two arcs crosses, you now use your long ruler to draw the line. That line that you are now going to draw will now be the perpendicular bisector of the line AC, and that is now going to be your locus L1. So let me just do that with my long ruler. These 2 points are the points that I'm going to now draw the line to join. So look at the line. Look at it. This red line is the perpendicular bisector, which will now be the locus L1. So I'll continue. I'll now move to the question Roman 2, the locus L2. That locus L2 is locus of point C, which is 4.5 centimeter from the point C. You can see point C is just one single fixed point, and 4.5 centimeter, meaning you have to draw a cycle with the center at the C and the radius of the cycle 4.5 centimeter. That gives you the locus L2. So let me do that. So you now open your compass, take this distance 4.5 centimeter exactly, and put the pointed part of the compass at the point C. That gives you the center of the cycle, and draw that locus. This is the locus now L2. So we continue. So I'll now move to question number C. Question number C asked to locate the points of intersections of the L1 and L2, and those points of intersection will now be called N1 and N2. You can see this is your L1, and this large cycle is your L2. The crosses here and here at these 2 points. So one of them is now called N1, and the other one will now be called N2. So just to mark a dot there and give the name of those points. So this is N1, and this is my N2. That answered question number C. You now move to question number D. You now asked to measure the length from N1 to N2. So with your ruler, you now use it to measure from this N1 to N2 and write the answer. Let me do that. So if you now take your ruler, if you do this construction accurately, measure N1 to N2, what you are going to have is very, very close to 5.9 or 5.9 exactly. This is what you expected to have. There is no problem getting 5.8 or 6.0. That is plus or minus 0.1 of a centimeter. So this will now be the distance that you are going to have, or very close to it, when you now measure from N1 to N2. Then the distance BC, from B to C, you also use your long ruler to measure it. And if you do that accurately, if your construction is very, very perfect, you now have 10.4 centimeter. There is no problem getting 10.3 centimeter or 10.5 centimeter. You still have your full mark. So this is the solution or the answer to this very question. So let me just share quickly with you how how marks are distributed in this very question, as it is contained in the official marking scheme of this very paper. So the very first mark is the method 1 mark, and this method 1 mark is for drawing this line BA exactly 5 centimeters. You have this method 1 mark. The next mark is for constructing angle 120 degrees. That is constructing this angle 60 at the opposite end. That gives you this method 1 mark. This arc must be seen before we award you this very mark. The next mark is for locating the position of the point C. That gives you this method 1 mark. The next mark is another method. 1 mark and A1 marker is for completing this very triangle, that is drawing this line BC. That gives you this M1, A1. So the next mark is for constructing the locus L1. The locus L1, that is drawing this two arcs and crossing at this very position C. That gives you the locus L1. So you have this M1, A1 for doing that. Then the next marker is this M1, A1 mark, and this M1, A1 mark is for drawing the locus L2. That is drawing this cycle center C radius 4.5 centimeter. You have this method marker and this accuracy mark. Then the next mark is for identifying the position N1 and N2. You have this bonus 1 mark. Then the next mark is measuring the distance from N1 to N2. You have this bonus 1 mark when you have exactly 5.8 or plus or minus 0.1 of a centimeter. You still have this bonus 1 mark. And the last mark is another bonus 1 mark when you have the distance BC exactly 10.4, no problem, plus or minus 0.1 of a centimeter. So in a total, this very question would now fetch you 12 good marks.